Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Codiak here, back for another Assassin's Creed Valhalla video. And today I want to talk about something a little bit serious. I know we don't usually do this kind of stuff on the channel, but I think it's worth talking about. I was cruising on Reddit the other day and I saw on the Assassin's Creed subreddit a post by user Zwazir, and it really caught my attention. It's got 2.6 thousand upvotes. It was on the top of the feed and I was like, all right, let me check this out. Let me see what this is all about. And the headline is this: there are now 9 armor sets in the microtransaction store, just as many as in the entire base game. Are we just gonna let that slide? Now I read that and I really thought to myself, damn, if that's true, that is a really terrible business model for Ubisoft. What a slap in the face to the average everyday player that's already spent $60 to $100 to even over $100 for their game. And sure enough, Zwazir hit it on the head. And I really do think we need to talk about this. I don't know how many other content creators are going to bring this up, so if I'm falling on the sword, so be it. My whole point of this video is just for you guys to have some awareness of what is going on, because a lot of times we play these games and we don't think about the overall big picture, and I really think that's what Zwazir was getting at here. In Valhalla, there are 9 sets of armor that you can get, just the base level armor, whether it be the Raven Clan set or the Thane set, decent sets of armor that are in the game. But it's not a surprise, and at this point most of us know that the best sets of armor and even the best weapons are locked behind the Ubisoft store. Now there's no denying that microtransactions are just a thing at this point. They're going to be a thing for the near future, and in a single player game it really doesn't matter that much. If you want to spend a couple bucks on something, fine. But we're not just talking about a couple bucks here. We're talking anywhere from $10 to $20 for a set of armor that now has the exact same presence in the game as the base level armor. Now, if you've been around the channel for even a little bit, you'll know that we've covered Assassin's Creed Valhalla as much as we could. We didn't get early access to the game, we didn't have that creator edge, but that's okay. We still managed to make our mark in the community. We even managed to get a little bit of traction with our video talking about the diamond rune slot issue that Ubisoft took off of the Einijar set, but left on some of the other more recent Helix store editions. The main problem here is that Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the gameplay, the systems, have never been complete, but yet they're still churning out custom sets of armor that they're expecting us to pay $10, $15, $20 for. And I think that's a huge issue that we should talk about and at least bring some awareness around that. There have been bugs in the game that they've fixed, and there have been bugs in the game that they haven't fixed, and there are just systems that are not in Valhalla that need to be in the game, like a transmog system. This is Ubisoft we're talking about here. If they wanted to make that happen, they could. They've probably talked about it in meetings, and in fact, it's in the game with the Joms Viking system. So why is it not something that the players have access to? Again, it comes back to the fact that there are systems and gameplay issues in the game, but yet they keep pushing out new sets of gear for people to spend money on. In fact, that happened today. They just released the Hearthfaru pack. That's a brand new set of gear, but did anything else change? No, nothing else changed in the game, and there are still things that are broken and still things that should be fixed so that players can experience Valhalla in its entirety. I think one of the biggest transgressions here is the fact that people can still not complete the Order of the Ancient storyline. Obviously, this is a big part of the Valhalla experience, going around killing all the Order of the Ancient members, figuring out the conclusion of that entire story arc, and not being able to do that is a huge problem. But yet there's still new armor sets that are being added to the game that they want you to pay for. And that's after, again, remember, people have spent anywhere from $60 to $150 on this game, and it's being treated like a half-baked live service experience. Assassin's Creed is a series that has been around for over a decade, and unfortunately with Valhalla, they are going after the whales. That's just the truth of it, and we could keep making videos about all the different armor sets, all the different builds in the game that we've come up with, but honestly, there is an underlying issue here that if we don't talk about, I feel like I wouldn't be doing my due diligence as a content creator if I didn't at least raise it to the community that watches these videos to have a discussion about it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what's going on at Ubisoft. The developers have worked to improve the game. We've seen a number of major patches, but as with big business, things move incredibly slowly. I work for a big business, and I can tell you guys that things only move quickly when there is chaos and pandemonium pushing people to make changes. Just like with the Diamond Rune issue, videos started circulating on YouTube, comments on Reddit, there was pressure on the company to deliver, and while they didn't exactly fix the issue, they at least addressed it so the community at least knew where they stood, and that's better than nothing. I know that's kind of like receiving an ice cream cone without the ice cream part, but I do feel like communication with bigger companies is a lot more translucent, and to actually have them come out and say, hey, this is what happened, whether we agree with it or not, is better than nothing. And honestly, these big companies really should take pages from indie games. There are indie communities out there that are so impressive with their communication, with their fan base, and I just wish that the AAA companies had a little bit of that pressure and that fire under their ass to work with their communities as well. Obviously, we love Assassin's Creed. We love the series, we love the gameplay. It's an established franchise that millions of people across the world enjoy. And to solve this issue is really not that challenging. Fix the daily and weekly mission system. There should be an easier way to get opals. Sure, opals can still be a grind, but it shouldn't take you 2 years to get an armor set. It should take you maybe a week, a couple weeks, something to extend your time in the game by doing something in a more robust system. Because the way that opals are now is just a joke. You do your 2 dailies, you do your weekly, maybe you do some challenges, but people are literally chomping at the bits to get one challenge done just to get a little bit closer to one item. I mean, the ratio of opals to gear to how long it takes you to actually complete this stuff and get these gear sets is just terrible. But these issues will not go away, and in fact, they'll probably get worse unless we put pressure on them to make changes. And again, I want to all tie it back to this Reddit post by Zawazir and the original issue that there are now 9 sets of armor in the microtransaction store and 9 sets of armor in the base game. We're not talking about a little bit of extra content, we're talking about equal proportions, content that's in the base game that you paid $60 or $100 for, and extra content that people are paying more money on top of that original fee. That is absolute insanity. And if you don't spend any money, you have great self-control, that's awesome. But I still feel like some of that armor and that ratio is off. And there are things that are in the microtransaction store that should be in the base game. The Niflheim set, perfect example. It's a fantastic set of gear. Why is it not part of the Asgard arc? It would make perfect sense for you as a player to experience Asgard and Jotunheim and get some sort of loot, whether it be armor or weapons, at the end of it. It is a loot-driven game, and they made a huge point of creating these custom sets of armor that change appearance, that have fantastic stats, and half of them are locked behind a store wall. And again, this is an issue that I think people need to be talking about, and hopefully we can put some pressure on Ubisoft to deliver on the things that they should be delivering on, like creating a stable game, fixing the bugs like the Order of the Ancients bug and the Ealdorman bug. There are things that are broken that are holding players back, and we're still constantly churning out more armor sets that are locked behind paywalls, and that just has to stop. So hopefully we can put some pressure on Ubisoft. I do think there are a great core of developers there that do believe in the game and do believe in everything that Assassin's Creed stands for. So all the support to them, all the support to the community. Thank you to Zawazir and all of the other Redditors who have upvoted this post for exposure. I think we should start talking about it, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hey look, I don't know how much influence we had in the Diamond Rune thing, but at least we got Ubisoft to talk about it, and maybe we can do that again with this video. So if you guys enjoy this content and you want more Assassin's Creed in your feeds, please feel free to hit that thumbs up and of course subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always, my name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.